to another exciting episode of the $1 Million Peddlers. I'm Papergoy.
And I'm Mr. Magazine.
And we regularly, well not regularly, but sometimes, bring Monday bonus haul videos. And I've done a fair number of them. But we decided to change it up a little bit and have Mr. Magazine bring you a haul video. And what a haul it is.
Yeah, I'm very excited about this haul. We picked it up yesterday. It was a good customer and a friend of mine. It was his friend, and unfortunately the friend's son had passed away. And they had to get rid of everything out of the house. And this kid was a huge collector of sports cards, Michael Jordan and Tiger Woods especially. So you can't go wrong with those names no matter what. And they wanted me to come in. They had some very low offers, and they didn't know what the stuff was worth, but they just knew the stuff was worth more than the two offers they had. A local guy, and then some guy came in from Boston. They made a little higher offer, and then he called back and doubled his offer.
Oh.
So that kind of makes you look bad. If you're making an offer and you're doubling it a week later, but even the doubled offer seemed pretty low to me. What you're seeing so far is about half of what was there. A lot of these are in the 4 screw downs. They're all star players for the most part. There you got Nolan Ryan. These might be $5 cards, but there's 20,000 cards in these screw downs in this collection. And even at $1 a card or $1 a holder, that's $20,000. But again, I would say at least 10% of the collection is Michael Jordan cards from the 1990s. There's a lot of limited editions cards, gold cards. There's sets of cards and binders, factory sets. There's a Fleer 87. It's got a Bonds rookie. It's just overwhelming. It's going to take me weeks to go through. So far, I've been trying to weed out the cards and the sets so we can get the sets on for Christmas. It's a lot easier to get a set on than it is a single card. But as we go through it here, there's more binders there. There's some Michael Jordan posters from the 90s unopened. Even the Mickey Mantle reprints. This set's a $100 set, and they got probably 5 sets of those in here.
Well, let me ask a question. Why don't we walk over and take a look at the rest of the stuff, and then I'm going to ask a question that I think everybody out there...
Down here you got sets. You got the Space Jam 2-pack with the card and the figure. Traded sets. This is a big set because it's got Jordan and Shaq in there.
I mean, there's even some oddball stuff in here.
Kobe Bryant magnets, yep.
Kobe Bryant, things like that.
Sure.
We're going to take a walk over and take a look at the rest of the stuff. Kind of walk through and take a look at some more warehouse, little bonus footage that you'll be seeing soon on the warehouse videos. But here's the rest of the deal.
And again, there's graded cards. You got Mickey Mantle reprints graded. There's a ton of Jordans graded. And even so, even if they're $10, $20, $30, there may not be a $1,000 card in here, but there's definitely going to be some $20, $50, and $100 cards for sure. Even these Jordans, these were like... back in the day, these were $10, but even the holder alone's a $5 holder. I mean, it's got Jordan's name embossed on there. Very cool. Some Mantle reprints. Here's more Jordan insert cards. They did insert sets. It's very overwhelming. There's a lot of golf and Tiger Woods in there as well. Let's see what else we got here. Got some magazines, SI special editions with Mantle. Very cool.
Okay, but that, I guess you just said something right there. You said this is all very overwhelming. And
yes.
I would absolutely agree. Can you tell all of the viewers out there that are about to hit the like button, can you tell them how you make an offer on something like this? Because I will be quite honest. I do deals, but nothing of this size.
Yeah.
But one of the biggest problems that I have walking in is if it's a large deal, where do I start at?
Yeah.
And there are times where the other party has no idea where to start at either.
Right.
Now, it's easy if you go into it and you kind of know,
Sure.
this amount per box, you add it all up.
Right. Yeah.
This is so overwhelming. Yeah. Take us through how you make an offer.
Yeah.
Did they tell you what the other offers were? Or
not at first, but after about an hour. I spent at least 2-3 hours there total between going through there was 2 rooms. Just going through everything, and the loading process took some time. We had 2 employees come. We had 2 trucks we filled up. But for starters, the sellers in collections like this that don't know what it's worth, they don't want someone coming in for 2 minutes and saying, I'm going to give you $1,000, because there's no way anyone would know what's there. So they're going to feel scammed. You have to put time into it and actually look through this stuff for them to trust your offer, that you're going through it.
But you're also
going to be
doing that for
them.
yourself.
Sure.
Because
right.
you don't know what's
there. So if there was 20,000 of this Nolan Ryan card, which is worth $2, I may not want it. It's going to be very hard to sell a ton of Nolan Ryan cards that are from the 80s and 90s. But you look through it, You find Michael Jordan all over the place. Mickey Mantle sets and tins. So you got to go through it all. So what I like to do is there was a smaller room. I said, let me knock off this smaller room to get a gauge on. There might have been 30 of these in the smaller room and 70 in the larger room. So then I started counting. I looked through the cards.
Mm-hmm.
I would count the cards in the red trays, and there was approximately 100 to 150 cards per tray. So I said, okay, in this room there's 30 of these here, so there's got to be about 5,000 of these cards. In the other room there's 3 or 4 times as much. So it gave me a gauge on counting these red trays. These are all Coke trays, by the way, which are probably $10 Coke trays. But on top of it all, then I get an average of, hey, now there's 20,000 cards. The holders alone are 50 cents to $1. The cards have to be, most of them are star players, so they have to be $1 or more. Say the average card's $5. I mean, it's tens of thousands of dollars in there. So, and the 2 offers they told me at the time were very insulting. I'm like, I can't even imagine. And they didn't spend, even the guy that drove in from Boston, he was there for like 30 minutes. It's like, how could you look at this whole collection? You're driving in, spending 30 minutes, and then making a super low offer, and then a week later you're doubling the offer. So, why waste your time? Why waste everyone's time for that matter? But they did trust me.
Well, I do want to throw something in as well.
Sure.
And I think this is to anybody out there that's new.
Yep.
How many cards would you estimate are here?
20,000.
20,000 cards.
Yep.
Minimally, they're worth a couple of dollars each. Say they're worth $5 each, which is, I don't think that's any kind of a stretch.
No, right.
You're at $100,000 of value.
Right.
But to anybody who does not do this regularly, don't let that number scare you either way. Don't get big dollar signs in your eyes either. Because, yes, there's $100,000 of cards here. It might be $200,000 of cards here. Who knows?
Right.
But the other side of it is, take into your equation. Don't just look at the money. Take into the equation the amount of work that you're potentially buying.
Right. Yeah.
Because in order to get that $100,000, $200,000, $500,000 worth of money out of it, you've got to be set up to be able to list one by one by one by one by one.
Yeah.
Even just sorting this down properly is going to take a couple of days of your time.
Yeah.
So you start adding in your time, you start adding in the fees, you start adding in all of that stuff, and you look and you go, oh my gosh, this stuff's worth $500,000.
Yeah.
You can't make a $100,000 offer on it. You just cannot do it because you will not. I mean, in the end, you would make money, but it would be so much work, it's not worth your time.
Yeah, well, even in storage, we have 3, 4, 5 pallets worth, which is a storage unit basically. We're renting here for the most part. And there's lots of cards that aren't even worth being put in these holders, but what are you going to do? Spend the time to unscrew them? You're better off just selling them as a plastic holder for $1 or something like that. Get the cards for free or something.
So I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah,
so
no,
you had said you had gone through everything.
Yeah. So they told me the offers. I said that's really insulting. I can't believe they would even make those offers. And like I said, we had a mutual friend that I've dealt with for 30 years, and he trusted me, and they trusted him, and they saw what I was, that I was spending the time going through all the cards and punching in numbers on my phone, equating everything and stuff. So, they knew I was working hard for it. They trusted me. And when I made the offer, he was happy with it. And we came to an agreement, brought the second truck down, loaded up, and here we are.
And I just saw something or other in here, and I wanted to ask a couple of questions about it. And,
sure.
And this is for anybody out there as well. The hot the hot thing in video games, the hot thing in comics, the hot thing in cards is grading.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm really, really excited when I look here because I see a 10 gem mint card.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
But here's my question.
Unfortunately, it's WCG and not the PSA.
So, to anybody out there that's not familiar with the grading,
generally these companies don't hold as much value as PSA.
If any.
And
Some of them
a lot of the cards they put in there are cheaper cards. But generally speaking, you should be able to get $10 for a lot of these cards if they're 10s.
Yeah, like this one over here, again, it's a Mickey Mantle 10,
Yeah.
but throw, on these lesser-known card companies, throw the grade out the window.
Right.
You're buying it because you happen to like this Mickey Mantle card,
Exactly.
is why you're buying it.
These are 3 refractors and these are 3 golds. I know those go for at least $10 and they're all 10. So, you're not going to get $20, but you might get $10-15 on these. And again, there's tons of them in there. They're all, you can put a set together, maybe get a few $100 for a set of them.
Yep. But I guess the warning out there is if you're new to the hobby or new to selling, don't let that 10 blind you and you say, oh my gosh, Mickey Mantle 10, that's got to be,
exactly.
In fact, right here on the back, it's funny. $100 is what the price supposedly was on it.
Right.
Now, hopefully he didn't pay $100 on it because you're not going to get anywhere near $100 back out of this.
Exactly. Yeah.
But don't allow the 10. The 10 is much less important than the grading company.
Right.
What the reputation is. I don't, and nothing against WCG. I know nothing about them whatsoever. I guess, the fact that I collect cards myself, and I know nothing about WCG, probably tells you all that you need to know.
Sure.
I know SCG, I know PSA, I know Beckett.
Yeah.
Those are the big names. So
Sure.
don't allow the holder to overwhelm you and say, oh my gosh, a 10. Because if you're making your offer based on these being PSA 10s and or WCG 10s, you're probably
big
going to
difference.
overpay.
Correct.
So hopefully you like this. Hopefully you do hit the like button. Like I said, it's just a lot of fun, and we wanted to bring you something a little bit different here, let you see a collection that Mr. Magazine brought up, and how unlikely is this collection? Like, is this just like, wow, I got a big collection, or do you get things like this regularly?
Lately, we've been getting stuff like this regularly. Tonight, I got to meet Gil, my driver. We had to clear out that pod, and we got 30,000 magazines coming in. Today, I got another customer with 300 Funko Pops coming in. Deals. It seems like every day there's $1,000 deals going on, which is great, as long as I have the money to buy them at this point. But it is Christmas season. We're gearing up, so I tell everyone now's the time to sell to me.
And hopefully you have the people to be able to list them.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a job, come on down to Rochester. We're hiring. We'll see you next video.
Take care. Bye-bye.